Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to TechChat Reviewers. In this video, I'm going to be compiling every bit of Apple rumors and leaks and everything into one video for products that are going to be announced tomorrow at WWDC, as well as products for the future of 2017, 2018, and even into 2019. So here is what we know right now. So I was able to find this AMA by a Foxconn insider who has a ton of information, and this is accurate information. He has been verified, as you can see here, by the mods. So now that we know that this guy's verified, we can actually trust a lot of the information that he has said. So I'm going to go through this and break it down for you guys as much as I can. His English is not that good, and I was able to do further research on all of these things to give you guys the most updated and accurate picture of what these leaks are actually about. So here's some stuff that this guy has actual information on. Apple Glasses project, which is delayed until 2018, 2019, maybe canceled. Kind of hope that's canceled. Everyone in this thread on this subreddit is basically hoping that it's real, but I think AR glasses and stuff like that are weird. MacBook 2018 update, DVT with Smart AnyKey technology. More information on that technology here, and this link just brings you to this, which is The Guardian, basically about e-ink display keyboards where they can change to whatever you want. Personally, I don't think that's a big deal. Not really something I'm super interested in, but kind of cool nonetheless if they do that in the future. Apple Home Speaker delayed late 2017. So there were reports that tomorrow they're going to be announcing this. They might still announce it, but I don't think it's going to be produced or available for sale until late 2017, just as this guy states here. He has a lot of information from Hon Hai. I guess that's Foxconn. I don't really know exactly, but he has a lot of information there. But they lost a contract before Chinese New Year. Updated iMac peripherals 2018 and iPhone 8 EVT's pre-Chinese Lunar New Year design. So I just want to quickly go over the iPhone 8 rumors because you guys, that is what you guys are probably most wanting to see. So I can confirm right here, this fake clone, it's not going to happen, it's fake. Don't even worry about this being the design. This is not going to be the iPhone 8 design. Don't worry. Apple had a bunch of different prototypes that they sent to be made over in China, and this was one of the prototypes that they had. And turns out no one liked it, so they trashed it. So this is not going to be the design. So do not worry about the fingerprint on the sensor on the back or that ugly display on the front, because that just looks really bad. And it's not edge to edge. No one would buy that crap. So just wanted to say that, and clone is wrong. This is how it's going to look. This is going to be the iPhone 8 right here. Possibly a little more glass up here, might be a little cleaner, but this is it. This is pretty much what it's going to look like. So get psyched for that. Don't worry about it looking like trash. Though there are a few caveats here about the fingerprint sensor in the home button or on the front of the screen. It's going to be a little different than probably something you're used to. So, but I'll get to that in a minute. So as we scroll down here, this is the first top most upvoted question. How dangerous and risky is it for this guy to do an AMA? He says it's a distributed network with thousands of people having exposure on the same information, most of which is already sold to KGI Securities. I think Min Chi Ko, KGI Securities, that's who he works for, another analyst for their reports. Apple Worldwide Loyalty Team did have Central Security Investigation, some other divisions after their last post. So these guys have posted before, and obviously they get investigated, but it's hard to find who actually leaks this stuff. Like these guys are leaking it, but there was an NDA that was broken way before this guy got the information. So, you know, they don't get paid much is basically what he's saying, $500 a month. Yikes. So they sell it to analysts, and the analysts pay up. These are some of the things that are going to be in the glasses, supposedly. You guys can read through that if you want. I don't really care about the glasses. I'll link this in the description as well. So here's where things get a little bit interesting with the Touch ID module on the iPhone 8. They're saying it was more like an iPhone 7 with glass without the Authentix capacitive touch module. I think there are two different modules that he's referring to. One is the capacitive touch module, and one is the optical touch module. So I think they're going to be putting the optical one in, which is possibly a little slower than the current Touch ID, but it's also going to have facial recognition. People can use that if they want. I wouldn't. I would only use the Touch ID, even if it was a little slower. I don't care as long as it's on the front. There were issues, but this was the original design. What is the likelihood the Apple Glasses project is canceled? 65%. So it's probably going to get canceled. I don't think people like it as much as they want. No one really wants AR. Well, I guess some people do, but I don't. They say they're going to try to maintain these posts. So someone was just asking again, will Touch ID be on the back or under the screen? He says it's under the screen. So do not worry. This is going to be what the iPhone 8 looks like right here. It's going to look awesome. It's going to be bigger than the iPhone 7, but smaller than the 7 Plus. No Touch ID on the back, as you can see. So it's going to be awesome. So let's go back to this. How much RAM? 3 gigs of RAM. He's asking which of these pictures is the most accurate. I'm just going to run through them real quick for you guys. He's saying the middle one. Of course, it's the most accurate because that's the one that we're referring to here. Middle one, more glass, but close. So he's saying there's going to be a little bit more glass, which is awesome. Totally cool with that. Of course, there's going to be Bluetooth 5.0. He didn't mention that, but I'm telling you right now, it will have that. And facial recognition, detection, retina scanner, all that biometric crap, it will be included in the front-facing camera modules. Notice I said modules because there are 2 cameras that you can see right here. So there are going to be 2 cameras on the front. That's just my speculation, but I'm telling you that. Here's a bombshell that everyone wants to know. Is Apple done with the MacBook Air, or will we see a new version in 2017? The line is discontinued. Do not expect a new MacBook Air released tomorrow or announced or anything like that. So you already know what's going to happen tomorrow. Not a MacBook Air. Other than keyboard, any interesting hardware features of a future iMac or MacBook you can share? Tests on updated design language, so probably thinner, knowing Johnny Ive. More glass and dark black body. Reintroduce white Apple light. That's crazy. They're going to bring back the glowing Apple logo onto their laptops. That's crazy. We're not exactly sure when that's going to happen, but I'd expect it within the next 12 months. More glass and dark black body. Would you say the design is similar to the Thunderbolt display? It's somewhat similar to the black iPhone 7 and the iPhone X finish like iPhone 4. So this is kind of confusing. Not entirely sure what he means here. Maybe I'm just understanding it wrong, but sounds like the black will be the black iPhone 7, which is matte, but then he says like the iPhone 4. So it's kind of confusing there because the iPhone 4 was a glossy black. So I don't really know because it was a glass back. So that's kind of confusing. So in case you're wondering about the Apple glasses, here's some information on what that would have, but I don't care. It's P3 frame size in case you're wondering. Let's see. The bone conduction would be used for audio, which would make sense. Some people just explaining some EVT stuff if you want to read about that. What's new with the 12-inch MacBook? Will it finally get a better webcam? He says he doesn't really know. Okay, here's about the iPhone X, iPhone 8, whatever you want to call it. Will it have wireless charging? Will it be more water resistant? It will be water resistant, probably the same, I would guess. Wireless charging, yes. Lightning, not USB-C. And this is mainly because of the licenses that Apple gets to license out the Lightning adapters. In case you didn't know, to have an MFI certified cable, they have to pay Apple for that. Apple likes getting their free royalties, so that's what they're going to do with that. And Lightning can actually charge almost as fast as USB-C, if not faster, so totally fine to do that. So the changes for 2017 iMacs, incremental updates, and then a full hardware design, and smart keys are delayed until 2018. We already knew that though. What style/form will the bezel take on the iPhone 8? It will be like iPhone 7 and less bezel. No, he doesn't mean iPhone 7 Plus here, I don't think. He means the iPhone 7 and less bezel on the y-axis due to new authentication module. More glass in chassis. The y-axis is the horizontal, as most of you probably know. So it's going to be less bezel on that axis, which is actually kind of weird because it's already pretty thin, but that's cool. The less bezel, the better, in my opinion. Seeing the bezels are pretty much uniform all the way around, except for near the top. Camera module has been redeveloped. Rear camera orientation is vertical on the EVTs. We already knew that though. So the smart keyboard is not replacing the touch bar. There's going to be both. Function row is OLED touch bar. Remaining keys are e-paper, so they're like a Kindle. And then someone asked when. He said late 2018/2019 if approved for DFM, which means we've still got a long ways to go on those smart keys. Will they be backlit? They'll technically be frontlit, so yes, of course. How big will the speaker be? Like the size of the Mac Pro, it will be the same shape as the trash can Mac Pro, but smaller, which kind of makes sense. But it's been a long time since they got any new designs. Apparently, the 2017 laptops for this year are already in production, which means they're probably going to be shipping with the Kaby Lake processor, which is good and bad. I mean, it's a newer processor, but Intel's already released a lot of information on Coffee Lake and Cannon Lake processors. I was hoping the MacBook Pro could have one of those in it, but it's going to be Kaby Lake, I believe. They might even announce that tomorrow, which is pretty cool. The AI chip is going to be a modified A9 chip. It's going to be in the Siri home speaker. I want to ask about this guy's salary. It's pretty much $66,000 US, at least for the senior analyst, which isn't a lot, but considering where they live and stuff, it's basically, this guy says about 200K in US dollars, or for New York City. So where I live, it's probably a little bit less than that because the cost of living is not nearly as high as New York, because that's a huge ripoff to live there. So this guy's saying it's going to be a 428 by 240 resolution on the glasses. It's going to be a prism that conveys NED display into image onto the lens. It's a low resolution, but it's relatively small, so it's not going to make a big difference. He doesn't have any news on new iPads, so I can't tell you anything about that either. I haven't read anything. Lightning is standard with new battery charging chipset from TI, which is pretty cool. So hopefully it's going to be faster. They retained Lightning due to license cost. Obviously, they get a lot of revenue from that, and it still allows fast charging. Here you can see the iPhone X production has been delayed. They saw it without the rear capacitive sensor, but instead an optical module, which is basically what I said before, has been mounted under the glass substrate. So that's probably what it's going to be. Now, this is the bombshell that everyone has kind of been asking. Will MagSafe be making a return? Yes, MagSafe will return, which is insane to think that they took away the glowing Apple logo and the MagSafe adapter, and then they're bringing them both back. Like, that's crazy. That's something that Apple doesn't do a whole lot. And if they actually do that, there might be hope in the future for the headphone jack returning for the iPhones. I doubt it, but no one asked it here. But oh man, that would be crazy. Not that I really care, but I just think that would be crazy if they actually, took back something that they did. Saying it's being tested now, so in 12 to 18 months, kind of makes me want to hold off on a MacBook because I love MagSafe. It's awesome. It's like the best way to charge any device ever because you can't trip over it or anything. It's great. And the light up Apple logo is also awesome. So this makes me want to kind of hold off, but I think I'll probably still pull the trigger on a new MacBook Pro this year. Will the Siri speaker be unveiled at WWDC? We would predict given the production schedule announced but not released until later this year. So that's kind of what I figured. I figured it would be unveiled at WWDC, which is tomorrow, and then released to the public for purchase later on, maybe around the iPhone 8 release, maybe in the fall. So that sounds about right. Now, if you're wondering why the hell would this guy come on here and give away all this information for free when he could sell it to investors, basically people pointed out that the event's tomorrow, so a lot of this information is going to be public knowledge tomorrow. And also, people were asking, well, what about the iPhone 8 stuff? That's not until the fall. There's been a lot of information leaked on all of this very recently, so, I mean, he's not really losing out on anything. Will MacBook Pros have 32 gigabyte RAM option, and how about better GPUs? He says yes for the 15-inch MacBook. I'm assuming he means MacBook Pro there, but hopefully they're not releasing a 15-inch MacBook because that would be kind of weird. But that's cool, though, that they're actually going to target the Pro people again with that. I'd probably get the 16 gig with the best GPU because this GPU on my 13-inch MacBook Pro is not cutting it right now. So about the iPhone 7s refresh and everything, here is a little bit of information on that. It will have aluminum unibody instead of the glass chassis on the iPhone X. Obviously, no wireless charging for that because it can't go through aluminum. They're going to release a report later in October for the Apple TV, probably with a panel, maybe. I don't know. No exposure on Project Titan, which is the car, unfortunately, so I don't really care about that either. That's a long ways off, in my opinion. Do you have any info about wireless charging? We have already issued a report on that to KGI. So basically, everyone who always said, oh man, Ming-Chi Kuo is always right on his predictions. Well, yeah, that's because he's buying this information from these guys that work in Foxconn. So that's how he's always right with his guesses and predictions and shit. He just buys it. So these guys have basically said that they sell it to him. So that's how that happens. In case you're wondering, Ming-Chi Kuo is not some super spy or whatever. He just buys his information, which is fine, but that's how it happens. I want to ask if there's an Apple Watch redesign being worked on, and he said they're working on it, but they haven't found anything just yet. And that's pretty much it for this entire thread here. So I just went through all of this information for you guys to give you guys the most accurate and up-to-date information that anyone has on any Apple product right now. That's public knowledge. So here you guys go. I'll link this down below in the description. Read through it. You guys can read all the different comments and stuff, what people are thinking. But I am pretty excited for tomorrow. I don't really know what's going to happen with, new product releases because WWDC is a developers conference, not hardware usually. But Apple has been known to surprise us and in good ways in the past. So if you guys want to stay up to date with everything that happens live, follow me on Twitter. I'll be tweeting, I'll be retweeting. I'll have all the information for you guys. If you guys can't watch the actual thing live because you're at work or something, I will do my best to keep that up to date. So that's all we got right now. This is the best thread that I have seen in a long time on Reddit about leaks and stuff. So definitely check it out. It was a great read. A lot of other big YouTubers aren't tapping into this bit of information right here. So I'm glad that I was able to get this information out to you guys before pretty much anyone else. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit it with a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.